Welcome to Spiritual Foundations for Life. This is day number 304. Eve saw that the tree was desirable for gaining wisdom, according to Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. The crack in her spiritual armor had now become a very large hole, and Satan drove the final stake right through it. Satan said in Genesis chapter 3, verse 5, God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve's determination finally crumpled under the pride of life, and she took some of the fruit and ate it. Satan's promise was that the couple would become like God. Well, that was a lie, and he knew it was a lie because he believed it once himself, and as a result, his own pride resulted in his fall from heaven. His goal was to get Adam and Eve to lose their determination, their dominion over the earth. Okay, Satan's goal was to get Adam and Eve to lose their dominion over the earth. And when that happened, he was there to fulfill the vacant post, and he became the prince of this world. Satan tried the same plan with Jesus when he offered Jesus the kingdoms of this world. He said, if you'll just bow down and worship me, you can have it all. In other words, Satan was saying, I'm going to buy your praise. I'm going to pay you with all these things to praise me. Jesus commanded Satan to leave, declaring that he would worship and serve God only, according to Matthew chapter 4, verse 10. By appealing to the pride of life, Satan intends to lure us away from the worship of God and destroy our obedience to God. See, whenever we think we don't need God's help or direction, that we can handle our lives without consulting Him, and that we don't have to bow our knee to anyone, well, we should be prepared for a fall. See, when we stop worshiping and serving God, we are serving the God of this world, and that is what Satan wants more than anything else. Satan and pride are intertwined, deeply connected. James chapter 4 verses 6 and 7 says, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and then the devil will flee from you. 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 6 and 8 says, humble yourselves therefore under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Your enemy the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Even from our earliest years, we have craved for attention. Little boys show off. Little girls paint their faces. Actors and musicians keep going to award shows, trying to get more awards. A football player makes a great tackle and draws attention to himself. They're all just saying, hey, look at me. Look at me. Well, you know what? Christians have their own award shows. They build their own monuments. And sadly, a proud Christian benefits Satan more than an atheist or a pagan. A lot more would be accomplished in the kingdom of God if we didn't care who received the credit for what we did. Remember that there are three critical issues reflected in the three channels of temptation. First, the lust of the flesh will draw us away from the will of God and destroy our dependence on God. Second, the lust of the eyes will draw us away from the Word of God and destroys our confidence in God. And third, the boastful pride of life draws us away from the worship of God and destroys our humble obedience on Him and to Him. The temptation to have power and influence apart from God has destroyed many men and women of God and many ministries. Our motive must be to build God's kingdom and not our own. We must have the desire to glorify the Lord and not seek glory for ourselves. And we must find our worth in our relationship with God and not in human accomplishments. And then when we do those three things, then the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords will truly bless us. Our key point today is that a proud Christian benefits Satan more than an atheist or a pagan. And our key verse, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. God bless you. See you tomorrow for another episode of Spiritual Foundations for Life.